Give me that phone so I can throw it. I want to throw it far away so you never see it again. I don't like phones.
Let's say this about Lil Nas X. I got a few friends that went to school with him and they said he was never gay. So
Are you serious?
So I know for a fact, like, what he doing is because, like, they told him, like, you gotta do this now if you want.
So you feel like he not really gay?
I feel like ain't nobody really gay. In Jesus' name, amen. It's getting popularity, getting you money, getting you views. So it's like selling yourself, like you do that.
Lil Nas X, fruity. This boy hooked up. Yeah, it's a difference. Say them, yeah. Nah, that boy there. Yeah. That's the confused. Lil Nas X got his mind made up. Yeah. He go kiss him. This nigga, yeah, niggas now he specifically named the trans. So yeah, he a word. Yeah, he want a woman with a dick. Yeah. I can't process it, Chud. I can't even think. My mind is going up. And now with the
Charleston White just lit up the internet, putting Lil Nas X straight on blast. He's saying that whole naked crash out wasn't no accident. It was a desperate PR move to drag attention back to a career that's been slipping. According to Charleston, Lil Nas X is broke and scrambling. And the wildest part, he claims it was NASA's own people who filmed it, leaked it, and tried to gamble whatever buzz he had left. If you've even touched social media recently, you couldn't miss those viral clips. Lil Nas X strutting down the street in nothing but some tight white underwear, acting like the sidewalk was his personal runway, bragging about some party he was headed to.
Nah. Hey, don't be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. Nah, go ahead, babe. No. Go ahead.
But while fans laughed, neighbors weren't having it. Word is somebody called the cops about a naked man outside, and that's when things got messy. Allegedly, police pulled up and found Nas looking like he'd OD'd, but instead of being down bad, he got into it with officers. Reports claim one cop got pressed during the scuffle before Lil Nas X was cuffed up and taken to the hospital.
This is me doing a full smile right now, by the way. It's like, what the f***? Bro, I can't even laugh right, bro. What the f***? Oh my God. So.
The story spread quick, but Charleston ain't buying none of it. He's calling it staged from top to bottom. And here's where it gets crazy. Charleston says this ain't even the first time. He's claiming Lil Nas X been caught before, high in public, stripping down or close to it, using the sidewalks like a stage. Charleston's words were sharp. He says this wasn't an overdose, it was a straight-up stunt. Who overdoses and then parades in underwear making a video? He asked. And the streets can't stop talking about it.
Uh-oh, somebody's gonna have to pay for that. Hey, for everybody coming to the party. La, la, la. Yes, I am serving you. I am serving you. And you better be at that party tonight. Oh, yes. 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 Yes, get my good side. Every side. Yes. Boom, cat towel. Sean Bankhead taught me that one.
One dude didn't hold back at all. He said straight up, this has to be staged. He needs the publicity because ain't nobody checking for him anymore. He even called Lil Nas X pathetic, a disgrace, and said he's drowning in his own mess. Another person dragged him harder, writing, I've never heard of anybody overdosing and then using the street like a runway for the Victoria's Secret fashion show. That line had people crying, laughing, but it also hit a nerve because that's exactly the vibe folks saw in those clips. People are not buying this medical emergency story for 1 second. To them, it's too clean, too polished. It screams publicity stunt. When you pause the video, the whole block looks suspiciously empty, like it was cleared out just for filming. The angles, perfect, like a director called action. And Lil Nas X strutting toward the phone like he knew exactly who was holding it? Come on now, that don't sound random. That sounds like a team project, filmed, leaked, sent to the blogs, and packaged to reset the narrative. And if that's the case, then what we're looking at isn't some meltdown. It's marketing disguised as chaos.
I wanted to not necessarily apologize, but I wanted to explain like where my head at and where it's been for like the last week. So first of all, when I did the artwork, I knew like there would be some upset people or whatnot, simply because, you know, religion is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people. But I also didn't mean to like mock. This wasn't like a you to you people, to the Christians, like, you know, it was not that. It was literally me saying, oh, I'm back.
Charleston White doubled down, saying the money's running out fast. Word is Lil Nas X has been crashing in rented luxury Airbnbs, showing them off online like they're his permanent cribs. Behind the scenes, insiders whisper that his label ain't picking up calls like before, and since that management switch, it's been nothing but gimmicks. Antics instead of anthems, shock instead of songs. But here's the problem. Shock don't last forever. At first, the outrageous moves kept eyes glued to him, but the streets know once the trick's revealed, the crowd stops clapping. Every new stunt after that just feels cheaper, louder, and more desperate. And fans can smell desperation from a mile away. Now, the big question floating around is simple. Has Lil Nas X finally run out of stunts to keep people watching? That's the real read. And Charleston White ain't holding back. He flat out called Lil Nas X's whole DL image not a discovery, but a deployment.
Lil Nas X, fruity. This boy here, up. Yeah, it's a difference. Say them, yeah. Nah, that boy there, yeah. That's the confused. Lil Nas X got his mind made up. Yeah. He go kiss him. This nigga, yeah, niggas now he specifically named the trans.
In his words, it wasn't identity, it was strategy. Allegedly, label execs were the ones pushing him to lean into that down-low persona, turning it up at shows, cranking it in music videos, and living it online, all because it kept people talking. If that's true, then it's deeper than just clout chasing. It's identity flipped into inventory. Instead of being himself, Lil Nas X was selling a role. The spectacle wasn't about authenticity. It was about clicks, likes, and blog headlines. Charleston painted it cold. This wasn't evolution, it was packaging, and the industry was cashing in while he played the part. But here's the twist. Not everyone buys the calculated stunt story. Some are saying what we're really watching is a breakdown. All that fame pressure, all that identity pressure, mixed with the demand to constantly shock. That's a heavy load. People online are whispering that the late night, half-naked runway moment wasn't promo. It was a mental snap, a cry for help dressed up as chaos. And the fall off is hard to ignore. Lil Nas X went from topping charts and breaking records to chasing blog mentions with recycled antics. At first, the internet tricks were smart and playful, but now the stunts feel louder, messier, and more desperate every time. Fans are pointing out how fast his career slid from being everywhere to just being a headline, and not for the music. One comment summed up the divide perfectly. I don't know what's going on, but walking down the street in the middle of the night, half naked and getting arrested does not sound like promo to me. That line blew up because it echoed what so many were thinking.
What are y'all? I mean, why they keep saying kiss, bro? Oh, you want to kiss? No, I don't want to kiss, bro. You sure? No. Bro, come on, bro. Stop doing that, bro. What? I'm not doing nothing. I'm not with that gay shit.
Is this man pulling stunts for clicks, or is he spiraling right in front of us? The scary part is, maybe it's both. One commenter didn't mince words, saying, "No sane black man would ever charge at the police just for a publicity stunt. I really think he's having a mental health crisis." That single take split the whole internet. Half the people are convinced this was staged, while the other half swear we're watching a breakdown unfold right in front of us. And when you dig deeper, both sides got ammo to back their claims. Plenty of folks say Lil Nas X built his entire career on shock, outrage, and going viral. But the downfall came when the algorithm stopped caring. That's when the cracks started showing. Now, old hospital clips, apology moments, and shaky interviews are being dug back up and circulated like receipts. To a lot of fans, it feels like we're watching a loop. The same chaos just recycled again and again, and the timeline proves it. He went from being a meme tactician who broke records with Old Town Road, the longest-running #1 of all time, to shaking up the culture with Montero, Call Me By Your Name, in 2021. That era felt fresh, bold, and unstoppable.
Nah. Hey,
What
don't
up?
be late to the party tonight.
Where at?
You know where it's at. Nah, go ahead, babe. Nah. Go.
But then came J. Christ in 2024, which tried the same formula, controversy mixed with shock value. But the return was weaker, almost like people had already seen the trick. Then the messy Dream Boy era hit, plagiarism accusations, non-stop single dumps, and the Hotbox project that underperformed badly. Each rollout since then has looked less like reinvention and more like desperation. That history is exactly what's powering the conspiracy crowd. They're calling it the infamous humiliation ritual. The idea that when a star stalls, the industry forces them into public embarrassment to shrink them down, control the headlines, and reset curiosity before a relaunch. One user put it blunt, "I believe this is all some humiliation ritual he's being forced to do to revive his failing career." Another added a harsher take, "Sold his soul and still ended up broke. Crazy. Shaking my head." But the other side ain't letting go of the PR stunt angle either. They're pointing out how empty that block looked in the video. No cars, no neighbors, no chaos, just clean camera angles like a set. They say Lil Nas X looked way too comfortable with the camera, like he knew the person filming him. Add in how fast the clip hit the blogs, plus the timing right after a series of musical flops, and it starts looking less like a meltdown and more like a calculated stunt to engineer a comeback. At this point, whether you see it as a mental crisis, an industry ritual, or a desperate publicity play, the only thing undeniable is this. The beats all line up with a career that's slipping and fighting not to vanish, and Charleston White's take just poured gasoline on the fire. Charleston White ain't sugarcoating a thing. He's flat out saying Lil Nas X is broke, and the industry already washed their hands of him. According to Charleston, the labels stopped calling. The money streams dried up, and now Nas is stuck playing dress-up in rented Airbnbs, trying to convince fans he's still living the superstar life. He says the big machine that once pushed him is gone, and what we're seeing now is a desperate scramble to stay visible. Insiders have been whispering the same. Word is, ever since that management switch, Lil Nas X lost the steady guidance he had at the peak of his career. Instead of dropping bangers, he's been dropping gimmicks. The music slowed down while the antics sped up. And in this game, that's a death sentence. Fans only forgive chaos if the hits keep coming, but when the songs dry up, all the shock tactics look cheap and tired. Charleston even suggested the industry used him as a puppet, hyping up the identity, the image, and the antics when it served them, but walking away the moment the numbers dipped. He said it best. Once the clicks stop coming, the machine cuts you off. And now the same machine that crowned Lil Nas X is watching from a distance while he burns himself out in public. Meanwhile, people online are split. Some say Charleston is just being messy. Others say he's exposing the ugly truth about how fast fame turns fake. They're pointing out how Nas went from record-breaking anthems to clout-chasing skits, and how none of the big stars are defending him right now. That silence speaks volumes. To a lot of folks, it looks like the industry moved on, and Lil Nas X is left fighting shadows, trying to convince the world he's still the golden boy. Now here's where things get explosive. The identity debate is louder than ever. Some people are saying Lil Nas X was never truly himself in the spotlight, just a packaged persona built by the industry, and now that package is expired. Others argue we're watching a human being slowly crack under the weight of a costume he can't take off. Either way, the story is wild. A career that soared to record-breaking heights, only to slide into smaller and smaller returns as the same shock value tricks lost their punch. So what exactly are we witnessing? Is this the ultimate PR stunt? A desperate move to spark headlines and drag attention back to his name? Or is it a raw breakdown, a man buckling under fame, pressure, and the demand to constantly outdo himself? And then there's the third camp. The ones convinced this is one of those so-called industry humiliation rituals, where stars are allegedly forced into embarrassment to reset their careers and remind the world who's pulling the strings. No matter which theory you believe, one thing's clear: Lil Nas X is at a crossroads and the world is watching every misstep. And here's the million-dollar question. If he really is broke and struggling to stay relevant, is this circus gonna work? Can he shock people back into caring about his music, or will this just go down as another failed attempt that made him look more desperate than ever? The optics are messy, the blogs are eating it up, but the outcome? Still a giant question mark. But enough about what Charleston White said. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think this was a carefully staged stunt, a mental breakdown, or something darker tied to the industry machine? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more, and make sure you check out the next wild video waiting on the end screen.